Are you going out of town for a vacation or a weekend getaway? What are you going to do with your dog? That's easy. There's Jaggers Doggy Daycare in Mount Vernon. Jaggers Doggy Daycare is your one-stop shop for overnight dog boarding, doggy daycare, as well as dog grooming and obedience dog training. It's your dog's home away from home, and they will thrive, and they'll get one-on-one attention by a great staff. More information is available on the web at jaggersdoggydaycare.com. Jaggers Doggy Daycare, 414 Main Street in Mount Vernon.
Good afternoon again, basketball fans. Welcome back to the site of the 54th Annual Eldorado Holiday Tournament at Duff Kingston Gymnasium. I'm Randy Olson, joined courtside with Mark Otten on this game, which will feature the number one seeded Fairfield Mules, who you see warming up before the game, taking on the Carrier Mills Wildcats. Glad that you're with us here both on AreaSports.net and on FoxesFans.net. Fairfield coming in as the heavy favorite not only in this game, but the favorite for the tournament. But, Mark, even though you're the number one seed, that doesn't mean you're going to be number one. You still got to go out on the court and play the games, don't you?
That's why we don't play them on paper. And I'll tell you what, I think the loss they had just last week is probably going to be a wake-up. And unfortunately for the teams left in this tournament, that probably was not a good thing for the rest of the teams, because they've got the wake-up call now that they're not invincible. And
you're talking about the loss to Casey Westfield last week at the Mule Barn. I was at that game. It was a tremendous basketball game. Went down to the wire. It was an overtime win for the Casey Westfield Warriors over the Mules, 60-58. Fairfield led by as many as 14 points in that game. But you're absolutely right, Mark. I am a firm believer that you actually learn more from a loss than you do a win, because when you lose a game, then you know what you need to work on. Whereas with a win, you're not sure what to work on because you feel like you're doing a lot of things right. But with that loss to Casey Westfield, as you said, could serve as a wake-up call on certain things that the Mules might need to work on to better their game and be ready to try to hold serve and run through the field down here at the Eldorado Holiday Tournament. This is the very first time that the Fairfield Mules have been seeded number one in this tournament. And when we talk to Coach Scott McElravy, and of course he's a guest with us nearly every Saturday morning on the Sports Couch, both here on AreaSports.net and on 90.9 The Vine Radio, he's always quick to tell us that he loves coaching this team this year. They're just a lot of fun. They've got tremendous depth. They'll do a line change of three guys early on.
Irreplaceable parts. I mean, it doesn't matter what 4 or 5 he's got on the floor. They've got their roles. They know what to do, and it's really fun to watch this team.
They did get into a little bit of foul trouble the other night at home against Casey Westfield, and that depth did serve them well in that game, but certainly that foul trouble did make a difference in the game as Casey Westfield made a run. Of course, Casey was in a little bit of foul trouble of their own. Their big guy sat much of the time on the bench. But it was just a battle between two great undefeated teams, and it went all the way to the wire, like I said, overtime, with Casey winning at 60-58. Fairfield comes in with a 10-1 record. Carrier Mills, their opponent this afternoon, is 2-8. Certainly I don't believe Carrier Mills Wildcats play near the competition that Fairfield does, so, the Mules are very heavy favorites in this basketball game, but you can't come out and take anybody lightly, can you?
No, and I mean, once again, Carrier Mills is also a fairly young team, and not knocking Fairfield, they've got some youth on the floor as well, but they've also got a ton of senior leadership that they can bring in at any time.
They sure do. We're going to take a brief timeout, let you meet some of our sponsors, and then we'll be back with more action from the 54th Annual Eldorado Holiday Tournament in just a moment, here live on AreaSports.net and on FoxesFans.net.
The old saying goes, nothing beats free. People's National Bank agrees. Free checking is just that, free. You get free paper statements. Your first box of checks are free. Unlimited check writing plus free access to over 25,000 ATMs nationwide with the Money Pass Network. If you like free, and we think you do, stop by People's National Bank today and open your free checking with only $100. People's National Bank, serving Southern Illinois farmers and businesses since 1909. Member FDIC.
At Hamilton Memorial Family Clinics, your family's care team is close to home. But it's not just about convenience, it's compassionate quality care. From routine care, vaccines, and DOT physicals to acute needs like disease management, x-ray, and lab work. Hamilton Memorial Hospital Family Clinics in Carmine and McLeansboro have you covered. Plus, same-day appointments are available and a Carmine walk-in clinic on Saturdays for those unexpected illnesses. With 6 providers and 8 specialty care clinics, maybe it's time to take another look at Hamilton Memorial Hospital Family Clinics.
Sometimes you need an attorney who can look out for your interest. Located just a short drive away in Mount Vernon, Olson & Reeves offer a free consultation to discuss your needs. Everything is discreet and confidential. At Olson & Reeves, they can provide you with consultation and assistance with traffic law and DUIs, estate planning, living wills, divorce, real estate contracts, personal injury and accidents, as well as medical malpractice. Call Olson & Reeves, attorneys at law in Mount Vernon at 316-7322.
Welcome back to Duff Kingston Gymnasium and the Eldorado Holiday Tournament, the 54th running of this prestigious tournament, and it's a tournament featuring all schools from Southern Illinois. There is no school here from Kentucky, no school here from Tennessee, no school here from Indiana, like you see from some of the other tournaments. This is really pure Southern Illinois basketball, and that's what makes it so great, doesn't it, Mark?
Yeah, we discussed that earlier. That's one of the things I am so glad that the tournament got back to that setup. Mm-hmm. It's been probably maybe close to 10 years since they've not had a true Illinois format, probably about the time that Pinckneyville and Cairo and some of those teams pulled out back a decade or so ago, and they really struggled trying to find teams.
Carterville, the new entry in the tournament this year, they won the game right before this. They beat Hardin County 36-21. The Carterville Lions come in as the number 8 seed. Edwards County, the number 7 seed. They had a battle with Vienna before that, and the Lions won that one 66-54. You can check out the scores, of course, here on our sports website at AreaSports.net. Not only scores from this tournament, but also scores from the other holiday tournaments around the area as well. The Carrier Mills Wildcats will be the visitors on the scoreboard. You'll see them on our Hamilton Memorial Hospital scoreboard on our screen. They're wearing their purple trimmed in their gold and white. And the Mules will be wearing their home white uniforms trimmed in the red and the black. We'll follow along with the public address announcer and let you meet the members of both teams here.
It's the number 1 seed Fairfield Mules.
Again, Carrier Mills comes in with a record of 2-8. Fairfield 10-1. Carrier Mills is coached by Kyle Peebles. Number 22 is Colton Betts. He's a 5'9" junior. Number 25 is Caden Van Meter. He's a 6-foot freshman for the Wildcats. Number 3 is Roston Lewis, a 5'10" junior. Number 24 is Trey Collins, a 5'10" junior. And rounding out the starting 5 is number 4, Jeremy Schote. He's a 5'11" sophomore. So the Wildcats will go with Van Meter, Collins, Betts, Lewis, and Schote. And they'll go 5'10", 5'11", 5'9", 5'10", and 6 foot.
No senior.
No senior in the starting lineup. You're right. Young team here. And now for the top-seeded Fairfield Mules.
Pretty good fan base for the Mules today.
Number 1 is Reese Lee, 6-foot senior for the Mules. Number 4 is Wyatt Gilbert, 5'10" junior. Makes things happen on that press. Number 5, Jazelle O'Neal, another penetrator, disher, and wreaking havoc on that press. O'Neal's a 5'11" senior. Number 10 is Kane Hicksonbaugh. He's a 6'3" junior for the Mules. And rounding out the starting 5, the leading scorer for Fairfield, Brian Estes. And Estes is a 6'6" senior, wears number 32. So again, they'll go with Lee, Gilbert, O'Neal, Hicksonbaugh, and Estes. And the Mules, much larger, will go at 6 foot, 5'10", 5'11", 6'3", and 6'6". And with the Fairfield Mules, it all starts with defense. And their defense creates a lot of offense for them, Mark.
Most definitely. That was one of the things I was going to mention, and you took the words right out of my mouth because, I mean, from the tip, they're going to go full court press off every made shot. And the youth of Carrier Mills, I think that's going to be If they can't find somebody to handle the ball, it's going to be their downfall in the game this evening. Well, we have Jeff Alejandro and the Blondie contingent as our referees this game.
Those Blondies, they get around, don't they? These guys have been doing it for a long time.
And many say they should have quit years ago.
Depends upon who you talk to, huh? Okay. I'm not going to touch that one. Van Meter's going to jump it up against Estes, and the tip is controlled by the Mules. Hickson Ball will hand it off to Gilbert, and here comes Fairfield. Again, they come in as the number 1 seeded team in the tournament, and rightfully so. From the Black Diamond Conference, of course. Here's a lob in to Estes, and there's a slam dunk. The alley-oop right out of the gate. Perfect timing, and that takes a tremendous amount of coordination and timing, doesn't it?
Most definitely, and then I'll tell you what set that up, they ran a double screen up high, which had everybody looking at that, and Estes just came in on the back door. Nice alley-oop.
It's a heck of an exclamation point to start the game, as it's 2-0 Fairfield.
Well, we've had some teams with players who are more than capable of dunking the ball, and that's the first one we've had in the tournament.
Here's a shot from the corner, and that's short. Estes with the rebound. Here comes Fairfield on the move. They love to bring it up in transition. O'Neal will take it baseline, goes up on the glass, and scores. It's 4-0 Mules. And now here comes that pressure defense. They'll trap anytime that they have the opportunity to. As bringing it across is Betts, and that's a steal by the Mules. Here comes Reese Lee with it. As he gets it over to Gilbert. Over to Lee again. Around the arc over to O'Neal. Back out to Lee. Now to Hickson Ball. And the thing about this Fairfield bunch, they can all score.
Definitely.
You know, you can't key on one individual person. They can all put the ball in the hole.
And I think the other key point is they'll run, and if they've got the numbers, they'll take it. If not, they're smart enough to pull it out and reset the offense. Nice look there. Gets it underneath to Gilbert, and Higgs scores.
Give O'Neal the assist on that one. A great start for Fairfield as they jump out 6-0. And we're going to have a timeout called right away here. And we'll be back with more in just a moment.
Considering a visit to a chiropractor? Wait no longer. Come to Watkins Family Chiropractic next to the post office in McLeansboro, or call for an appointment at 643-3833. For the past 12 years, Dr. Brett Watkins has been serving the community. He offers acupuncture and chiropractic adjustments for sciatic nerve pain, headache, muscle ache, and overall general health. In addition, Dr. Watkins carries a full range of vitamins. Most insurance cards are accepted. Watkins Family Chiropractic is a proud supporter of the High School Sports Videocast Network.
Back to live action here at Eldorado. Carrier Mills gets it across the timeline with Van Meter. Working against Reese Lee. Getting the Mules with that sticky defense. Here's a drive baseline. Shots up, no good. Chased down by Estes. Look out. It's 2-on-1 break for the Mules. Estes all the way. Got caught in between as he jumped a little too early for the dunk that time.
Smiles all around there. Even Scott McElready had a little grin on his face on that one.
You knew he wanted to throw that one down, but
he was leading the break a second ago and dished it off.
Van Meter brings it back up again against O'Neal. Here's a bounce pass back door, and shots up, and it's blocked as Colton Betts took it in. And a foul's going to be called on the Mules.
Keon Gilbert, his first team foul. And we'll send Colton Betts to the line for 2.
He's a 5'9 junior, and as Mark said, no seniors in this lineup for Carrier Mills. If you're watching our video stream this afternoon, let us know where you're watching from and who you're rooting for. You can just send us a message there on our Facebook page, the AreaSports.net Facebook page. We've got a stream going there, a conversation going about the Eldorado Holiday Tournament. You can weigh in as well as Double Dribble is called. Wyatt Gilbert with the turnover. Gives it back to Carrier Mills. 5:48 to go here, opening quarter. Here's a pass down to Betts. He lays it up, missed it. Gilbert with the rebound. Fairfield back the other way. Ahead to Estes. Look out. There's another dunk.
He's 2 for 3 so far.
Estes gets back behind the defense again, and it's 8-0 Mules. slamorama going on here by Brian Estes. 5:28 to go here, opening frame. Carrier Mills driving at baseline, almost a steal. Now it comes out to Lewis. Lewis has his pocket picked by Jaziel O'Neal. It's a 3-on-2 break. Leaves it for the trailer. It was Hickson-Ball, and he gets hammered. And Hickson-Ball will go to the line to shoot a pair for Fairfield. Yeah, they just get it and go.
Van Meter picks up the foul, his first team foul on the Wildcats.
And again, this Fairfield team's very deep, and you're going to see a line change here in just a little bit, where you'll have 3 new Mules players come in. And like you said, you just don't lose anything, because it's fresh legs and fresh bodies that can also run, pass, shoot, score, defend. And that's what makes this Fairfield team so good, is Hickson-Ball misfires on the first one.
And normally a very good free throw shooting team as well.
Yeah. Hickson-Ball might be one of the most improved players on the Fairfield team this year. He has really gained a lot of confidence, I think, this year, which has helped him to relax and just play, more solid basketball than a year ago. He has really been an important cog of this offense. There's a shot thrown up that's short, no good by Van Meter. Rebound by the Mules. Lead pass down intended for Wyatt Gilbert. Picked up by Reese Lee, puts it up and in. Boy, talk about being at the right place at the right time.
Then your point on the other end, it was thrown up. It was just more or less a ball thrown at the basket.
Literally, yeah.
No shot, really.
11-0 as Fairfield's throwing a shutout here in the first quarter. 4:38 to play as Van Meter gets it across. They go inside the post. There's a fake. Shot up. It's blocked as Jeremy Choate took it in, and he is going to get fouled. And that's going to give Choate a couple of free throws here. And now to give the Wildcats a chance to score again from the charity stripe where they fell short a moment ago. They'll try it again. Free throw is good. So Carrier Mills is on the board here at the 4:30 mark of the first quarter. Winner of this game gets the Carterville Lions tomorrow. And that ball is knocked out of bounds.
1-2.
Over at the Pinckneyville tournament, Chester leads Salem 24-23. That sounds like a good one.
You got 5 new ones coming in for Fairfield. We're going to switch the whole lineup over.
Okay. Instead of 3, we're going to put in 5.
The announcer's nightmare. Another dunk.
Oh, nice alley-oop again. That one's missed. He's 2 for 4 on dunks now.
And from the field. Every shot's been a dunk.
Lead pass down and up on glass for the bucket by Jeremy Choate. 11-3. Mules by 8. Back up front, Reese Lee over to Gilbert. Ball's kicked out of bounds. That'll stop play, and here it comes. A whole new set of white jerseys in. All right, so we're going to have Massey's going to be in there. Zerlini. Cantrell.
McElravy.
And Luke Dagg. Yep, and Noah McElravy. So a whole new 5 in for the Mules. Zerlini takes the inbound. Goes in the corner. Here's Massey with a shot. It's off no good. A battle for the rebound. Zerlini gets it. Wants to go back up, but he's tied up. Jump ball's called. Possession arrow is going to give it to the Wildcats. 11-3 here in the first quarter.
The Fairfield will look like a man-to-man press, and you never know what version you're going to get out of it.
Well, they many times will trap on this half court, depending upon how they attack you.
I think Carrier Mills has done a good job of scouting. They've got their players back. There's a turnover by Carrier Mills, but they're pulling their players back to the baseline.
Massey gets it ahead to Cantrell. Shots missed, and on the follow, we got a whistle and a foul.
Working on his rebounding stats.
That'll be out of bounds to the Mules, and triggering it in will be Massey. 5'10" sophomore. They got a nice crop of young sophomores in this Fairfield basketball program as well. Their JV team is a lot of fun to watch. Wraparound pass intended there for Luke Dagg, knocked out of bounds. Mules will try it again. 3:15 to go here. Opening quarter. Pass out to Noah McElravy. He is the coach's son. To Zerlini. Now to Massey. Skip pass over to McElravy. They get inside. Nice pass to the cutting Luke Dagg, and he put it up and in. Beautiful pass on the cut. And there's a steal on the inbound. Zerlini's got it. 13-3 our score now. Out to McElravy. He'll fire from behind the arc. It's short. Rebound taken out of there by Trey Collins for Carrier Mills. He gets it up the court. Ahead to Van Meter. Van Meter down the lane. Tries to leave it. And does. For Choate. He puts it up and in. Choate's scored a couple of them down there.
He's got all 5 of their points.
13-5 with 2:29 left here in the opening quarter. Mills go down on the block. Here's a nice spin move up on glass. Shots missed by Cantrell, but the follow is up and in. Dagg with the follow. Stick back makes it 15-5.
4 quick points from him off the bench.
Ooh.
Whoa. Somebody missed that call. They finally got it.
I didn't know that they were going to call that for a moment.
He only took 2 steps. It's too far away from Bobby to see it, so we knew Bobby wouldn't call it.
Well, that's what the defense could do to you. It can make you carry the ball like that. McElravy has it between the circles. We'll pass you along a score from the Cesar-Valier tournament here in a moment. Here's Zerlini with a 16-footer. No good. There's a rebound. Back up and in by Luke Dagg.
3 putbacks from that Dagg with 6 points here real quick.
And he is becoming the board enforcer out there. Here's another steal. Zerlini has it. Bounce pass across the lane goes awry. It's out of bounds.
Turnovers.
Yep, turnover.
2 for Fairfield, 4 for Carrier Mills.
And we're going to have Reese Lee and O'Neill check back in for Fairfield. You know, the nice thing about this, not only having that depth, but also having this early lead that Fairfield has, is the pass comes in to Colton Mitchell. Mitchell breaks away with a layup, and he scores.
And the thing with that, he had to hustle to get that free throw off, or that layup off even.
That was a freshman that did that, by the way, on that layup. Colton Mitchell, a freshman, who comes off the bench here for Carrier Mills. 17-7. Down underneath. Shot up by Cantrell.
You got Luke Dagg that just scored 6 points coming in, had the shot if he wanted it, but unselfishly passed the ball away to get a nice open look.
Cantrell will go to the line and shoot a pair. What I started to say was, with this early lead by Fairfield and having the depth they have, they're going to have a chance to give their players a lot of rest in the course of this day. Because, you know, you're going to be trying to play 4 games in 3 days, and that takes its physical toll on you.
You get into the second game on what would be Saturday this year, you can see the teams that have had struggles in their earlier games.
Right.
Legs.
Both free throws are good by Cantrell. It's 19-7 Mules. And bringing it up is Van Meter against Reese Lee. We're down to 1:13 left in the opening quarter. Wildcats try to go inside, almost a steal. Back out front to Van Meter. He'll fire away, no good. Rebound is picked up by Jazil O'Neill. Here come the Mules. They get it ahead to Luke Dagg. He's going to take it strong to the rack, and he's fouled.
I'm not sure that if he hadn't been defended, he might not have tried to slam the ball.
He might have. He had a full head of steam, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
He'll go to the line to shoot a pair. 58 seconds left in the quarter.
Foul was on Jeremy Choate, his first, 3rd team foul.
If you are wondering what time the quarterfinal game would be played tomorrow, assuming Fairfield wins this game, which they look like they're headed in that direction, Fairfield-Carterville matchup tomorrow in the quarterfinal round would be at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock tomorrow night. And we'll have it for you here on AreaSports.net and on FoxesFans.net. All right, Carrier Mills brings it up. Over to Mitchell. Mitchell dishes it in the corner. Here's a shot from behind the arc. It's short, no good by Betts. Rebound by the Mules. Reese Lee clears it out to O'Neill. Fairfield in transition. Back out to Reese Lee. To O'Neill. Goes around a screen. Looking for somebody. That's knocked away. Almost stolen. Picked up by Lee. Over to Dagg. Back to O'Neill. And he gets hacked. And that'll send O'Neill to the line. It stops the clock with 23 seconds left here in the opening quarter.
Colton Mitchell picks up his first, 5th team foul.
No upsets yet in the tournament this year, but we've had some very competitive games, haven't we, Mark?
Definitely. Fairfield really not taking advantage like they would normally from the free throw line.
O'Neal misfires on the first one.
Of the 5 fouls, Fairfield shot 4 of them. He misses both.
Missed that one as well, but there's a rebound by Cantrell, and he missed the bunny. Rebound, Carrier Mills. Back out on the dribble they come with Van Meter. Working against O'Neal. A little bumping going on out there. And Nathaniel Reed, a sophomore in the game for Carrier Mills right now. Here's a shot from the elbow. It's no good by Van Meter as the horn sounds, and that is the end of the first quarter play. Our score is top-seeded Fairfield Mules 19, Carrier Mills 7. We'll come back with second quarter action live from Duff Kingston Gymnasium in just a moment.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
Talk to State Farm agent Lynn Braden in McLeansboro today.
Back at the 54th annual Eldorado Holiday Tournament, Fairfield leads it after one quarter, 19-7. Mark, your thoughts on that first quarter play?
Well, you mentioned earlier the depth and the balance of Fairfield. 7 players in the scoring column, led by Luke Dack off the bench with 6. So, I mean, they just, you can reload, just throw another 5 out on the floor, and as we mentioned, that you're just not hurt any by it.
Hey, anytime you can put 7 players in the scoring column in the opening quarter of a game, as a coach, you got to be thrilled.
I've watched Fairfield play a couple of games, too, and I was really impressed with the way that Carey Mills was able to handle the pressure. As young of a team as they've got, they really handled the pressure from Fairfield pretty well.
All right, second quarter action underway. The Mules have it. Estes on the baseline. Has it knocked away and stolen. Van Meter comes away with it. A Mules turnover. Van Meter working against O'Neal. In the corner they go now to Rollins. And that's an over and back call against the Wildcats. Turnover right back to Fairfield.
5 turnovers on the Wildcats, 3 on Fairfield. Unofficially, of course.
Wyatt Gilbert will trigger it into O'Neal. Down to Estes.
If coaches keep the stats, there's a heck of a lot more turnovers than there are for broadcasters.
Hicksonball had the ball stripped, but it's off Carrier Mills, so it'll stay Fairfield basketball underneath their own basket. And Gilbert will trigger it in. Here it comes to O'Neal. He'll fire from the corner. No good. Rebound. Well, I thought Gilbert had it, but it was taken away from him by Xavier Rollins for Carrier Mills. To the other end we go. The shot is missed. It's put up by Rollins, but we got a whistle and a foul called on Fairfield.
Foul's going to be before the shot. Hicksonball picks up his second.
Into the ball game for Fairfield. Landon Zerlini checks back in, replacing Kane Hicksonball. Wildcats, well, almost a 5-second count. Boy, that was close. They barely got that one in. Mitchell will fire away behind the arc. No good. Rebound Zerlini. Mules want to run. Out on the dribble to O'Neal. Carrier Mills did a much better job getting back defensively that time.
Definitely.
As Zerlini will fire it up. No good. Rebound no good by Estes, but the second opportunity he gets, he puts it in. 21-7 is our score, and we got another timeout on the court. And with that timeout, we'll take 1-2 and be right back in just a moment.
At Hamilton Memorial Family Clinics, your family's care team is close to home. But it's not just about convenience, it's compassionate quality care. From routine care, vaccines, and DOT physicals to acute needs like disease management, x-ray, and lab work. Hamilton Memorial Hospital Family Clinics in Carmine and McLeansboro have you covered. Plus, same-day appointments are available and a Carmine walk-in clinic on Saturdays for those unexpected illnesses. With 6 providers providers and 8 specialty care clinics, maybe it's time to take another look at Hamilton Memorial Hospital Family Clinics.
Back at Duff Kingston Gymnasium in Eldorado, Carrier Mills has the basketball, down 21-7, as you see on our Hamilton Memorial Hospital scoreboard, as Wildcats bring it up with Van Meter. Looks like Fairfield is extending their defense out a little bit farther now, Mark. Going to ratchet it up a little bit.
A little more aggressive. Nice pass down low.
A real nice pass. Went down to Xavier Rollins, but he couldn't quite connect.
Jump ball will go to Carrier Mills.
Colton Betts will trigger it in. Yeah, I don't see a single senior on this entire roster for Carrier Mills, and they're playing a lot of sophomores and even a freshman out there too. So if you're Coach Kyle Peebles, you have these guys around for a while.
He's one that really nurtures young talent pretty well. I've watched him. Was at Johnson City for a while and then got moved out of there and had a lot of young talent down there.
Reese Lee has it to O'Neal. Over to Zerlini. And a traveling violation called on Zerlini.
3 of Fairfield's 4 turnovers have been unforced, too. That's what really gets under your coach's skin a little bit.
Yeah, if you're Coach McElravy, you can't be happy with that. 6:05 to go here in the first half, 21-7. Fairfield in command. As Van Meter runs the offense out front. Oh, a little skip pass and a dangerous one. It's been stolen by Reese Lee. He's going to feed it down to O'Neal. And he is pushed as he tried to get a pass over to Zerlini.
Aiden Rollins picks up his first. It'll be the 6th team foul. So Fairfield will be shooting the remainder of the half with 5:50 to go here in the second quarter.
J.C.L. O'Neal will trigger it into Lee. Back to O'Neal. They're looking inside towards Estes. Now they bring it around the perimeter to Gilbert. To Zerlini. Back over to O'Neal. Zerlini again. O'Neal. Zerlini is open from behind the arc. And it's short. Rebound Colton Betts for Carrier Mills.
Carrier Mills in a 2-3 zone, and it's amazing what a simple head fake by Fairfield makes the adjustment on that defense do and opens players up.
Inside the post, Rollins had it, dishes it back outside. Now they go into him again, and he's going to be fouled by Estes.
Got caught reaching around. His first 13 foul.
I got to tell you, these 2 freshmen, I'm actually pretty impressed with that Carrier Mills has. Aiden Rollins, a 6'1 freshman, and Colton Mitchell, a 5'9 freshman. I mean, you gotta realize they're playing against seniors out there, you know, seniors and juniors, and they're holding their own. As the shot is made inside there by Colton Betts. Oh no, that was Aiden Rollins. That was one of the freshmen. Yeah,
right over the top of Estes.
And that makes it 21-11. 4:46 to go here in the first half. Jump ball is called.
Whenever you're a 6'6 player, what does your coach tell you? Don't bring the ball down where the little guys can get it.
That's right. This is Fairfield's second tournament. Of course, they won the Lawrence County Classic at the beginning of the year up in Lawrenceville, and they beat T-Town in the championship game. They also got a win over Olney in that tournament. Olney happens to be the top seed over at the Pinckneyville tournament this week. So
Dag and Cantrell check back in for Fairfield.
Reese Lee buries one from behind the arc. 24-11.
The announcer like that. Lee for 3.
All the way down. Dishing it to the right side is Rollins, and that's knocked away. Out of bounds by Luke Dag. Have you made it over to the hospitality room yet?
Yes.
All right.
It's a must.
Oh, yeah. Those desserts are very tempting, aren't they?
They were, yes.
Yeah. Here's a steal by the Mules. Lee throws it ahead to Zerlini, but he overthrows him.
Trading off turnovers.
And it's going to go back to Carrier Mills. Well, the Mules have a somewhat comfortable 15-point lead, but I don't think, if you're Coach Scott McElravy, that you're happy with the number of turnovers that you have here in the first half.
No, most definitely. You can give Carrier Mills a lot of credit. They're playing, for as young of a team as they've got, playing much better than I really thought they would against the pressure that Fairfield can throw at you.
Caden Van Meter out there working against Coldy Cantrell. They get it in the corner. Now back out to Betts. Betts is going to drive, puts up the shot, left it short, but he's going to be fouled by Zerlini, I think.
Yep.
Fairfield foul 24, Leonard Zerlini.
His first 15 foul, but it will send Colton Betts, the junior, will go to the line. It's 0 for 2 so far.
Mules with a definite size advantage in this game, as Betts is good on the first free throw, 24-12. Interesting game going on over at the Cecilville Air Holiday Tournament right now between Thompsonville and Goreville in the quarterfinals. Thompsonville leads Goreville 27-20. The Tigers are still undefeated on the season. Here's Reese Lee from behind the arc. He got it. Another trifecta for Reese Lee. 27-11.
Got spots on each side. He likes that.
Again, that's the thing about this Mules club. They have got so many weapons to beat you with. You can't key on one guy. Landon Zerlini says, well, if you're going to do it, I'm going to do it too.
The spot looks hot. I'll try it.
Apparently it is. 30-11. Mules up by 19. And checking back in the ball game is going to be Noah McElravy. And also back in is Colin Massey. Again, here for watching our video stream, our broadcast this afternoon, let us know on AreaSports.net on our Facebook page. Let us know where you're watching from and who you're rooting for. Another bucket by the freshman. Colton Mitchell with that bucket. Makes it 30-13. 3:26 left here in the first half. O'Neal. Skip pass over to Massey. Back to O'Neal. He drives. Comes out to McElravy. Over to Massey. His three-pointer is good. It is raining threes here at Eldorado's. Fairfield is firing at long distance. And here, running the post pattern is the freshman, Colton Mitchell, as he gets back behind the defense again. They just keep calling his number. O'Neal now.
Oh, my.
They're all getting in on the act. Another three-pointer for the Mules.
5 consecutive three-pointers.
36-15, and all of a sudden it's ballooned to a 21-point advantage for Fairfield. Wildcats back the other way. Colton Betts. Over to Rollins.
And the bad thing is, Carrier Mills have been matching him trip for trip,
right,
but they're not. It's 3 versus 2.
You're right. Exactly. Mitchell's double teamed. He comes back out to Betts. Betts drives the lane, misses the shot. There's the follow up by Rollins, no good. And the ball goes out of bounds. It's going to stay with Carrier Mills. 2:14 left on the clock here in the first half. You see the score on our Hamilton Memorial Hospital scoreboard. It's 36-15 Mules. Checking into the game, it's Trey Collins for Carrier Mills. Ball's kicked.
You got Luke Dagg right in front of you trying to get that ball in. Big body, long arm spread. It's hard to get the ball in around him.
Shot from behind the arc, no good. Rebound by the Mules. Massey's going to clear it out. Look out. Hello. It's another dunk for the Mules. This time it's Luke Dagg.
I mentioned a while ago it looked like he wanted to.
Throws it down with authority. 38-15. Mules with multiple dunks by multiple people in this game. Having fun down at Duff Kingston Gym. Shot is missed. And stolen back by Van Meter. And stolen again by the Mules. 2-on-1 break. He's going to leave it behind the trailer. Cody Cantrell. It's Dag to Cantrell for the layup.
Very unselfish.
Totally unselfish. Like to see that. 40-15. That ball's kicked.
For a guy who just had a dunk the trip down before and had another opportunity there.
Passed it up, didn't he? Fairfield faithful give their Mules a big round of applause as we have more substitutions there. Estes back in the game, along with Wyatt Gilbert. Van Meter guarded by Gilbert. Minute 7 left here in the first half. Ooh, almost drug his pivot foot. There's a steal. Here's another breakaway. Zerlini goes up for the shot. He scores, and he's fouled.
And one.
Landon Zerlini gets the bucket, and he'll have a chance for the conventional three-point play with exactly a minute left here in the first half.
Second foul on Rollins. 7th team foul.
Were you here for the Heron game this morning?
Definitely.
Heron against Carmi. You know, that was an interesting
31-30 at the half.
Right. And
then Carmi did not show. Carmi showed up, but Heron just showed why they were the number 3 seed.
And I'm not so sure they shouldn't have been the 2 seed. They looked very strong this morning. So you never know. We might be headed towards a Fairfield Heron final down here. But there's a lot of basketball left to be played before we decide that. All right, under a minute to play. 43-15 is our score. Mules with the lead. Carrier Mills out front. Here's a shot from the elbow. It's no good by Rollins. Rebound to the Mules. Kane Hicksonbaugh has it. Out to Zerlini. He'll fire from long distance. Got it. Nothing but net. Zerlini with another trifecta. Makes it 46-15, and the Mules have a bushel basket of those trays so far.
Well, we've hit the 30-point plateau, so that means the fourth quarter will be continuous.
Continuous clock.
Whether it drops back down underneath or not.
Shot is up, no good. That'll give us a chance to catch up because we've been running behind on time this session. Because that first game of this session went long. Reese Lee behind the arc, no good. Rebound Hicksonbaugh, back up, no good. Lee again with the rebound, with a follow, no good. Zerlini at the horn, count the bucket. Mules put it in and go up at halftime by a commanding lead of 48-15. The number 1 seeded Mules show why they are exactly that here, flexing their muscle against Carrier Mills in the first half. Mark's working on our post-game, our halftime stats. We'll come back and take a look at those and be back with more for you here on AreaSports.net and on FoxesFans.net.
This broadcast is made possible by Barnard Soil Service, located in Wayne City, offering multiple services to the farming community, including crop input recommendations, custom application, field records, seed test plots, seed treatment, soil testing, and much more. Barnard Soil Service is located at 303 East Smith Street in Wayne City, and their phone number is 895-2116. Additional details available on the company website at barnards.com. Barnard Soil Service in Wayne City. Are you going out of town for a vacation or a weekend getaway? What are you going to do with your dog? That's easy. There's Jaggers Doggy Daycare in Mount Vernon. Jaggers Doggy Daycare is your one-stop shop for overnight dog boarding, doggy daycare, as well as dog grooming and obedience dog training. It's your dog's home away from home, and they will thrive, and they'll get one-on-one attention by a great staff. More information is available on the web at jaggersdoggydaycare.com. Jaggers Doggy Daycare, 414 Main Street in Mount Vernon.
The old saying goes, nothing beats free. People's National Bank agrees. Free checking is just that, free. You get free paper statements. Your first box of checks are free. Unlimited check writing plus free access to over 25,000 ATMs nationwide with the Money Pass Network. If you like free, and we think you do, stop by People's National Bank today and open your free checking with only $100. People's National Bank, serving Southern Illinois farmers and businesses since 1909. Member FDIC.
Back here at Duff Kingston Gymnasium, our halftime score, you see it on the screen. Fairfield leading it by a score of 48-15, and a dominating first half for the Mules, and Mark, tell us about it statistically.
Well, I mean, you had a 19-point first quarter, which you thought would have been sufficient for Fairfield. They turned around with a 29-point 3-point barrage second quarter. Ton of players, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 9 players, I think, in scoring column. Landon Zerlini had 11 points in the second quarter. Hadn't scored in the first. Let's just run these down. Reese Lee with 8. Wyatt Gilbert with 2. O'Neill with 5. Hicksonbaum 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Cantrell with 4. Massey with 3. As I mentioned, Zerlini with 11. Dag with 8. Estes with 6. And I think they're all dunks. No, he had 1 regular shot, but the other 2 were dunks for a total of 49. Turned the ball over 6 times, and probably 3 of those were unforced. And we mentioned that earlier, that that's the thing that Coach McElravy is probably going to be most disappointed about, that you can't have those against a good team. For Carrier Mills, they're led in scoring by Colton Mitchell with 6. Jeremy Choate had 5. Colton Betts with 2. And Aiden Rollins with 2 for a total of 15. I think they've actually handled the pressure of Fairfield fairly well. I was impressed with it for as young of a team as they are to be able to say they only had 8 turnovers at the first half. That's not really bad.
Yeah, I agree.
But,
and again, they had a couple freshmen out there at a time, and the freshmen were kind of holding their own, doing okay. Dominating first half here by the Mules, 48-15, and again, they show why they are the number 1 seed here in the tournament.
I think at one point they came down and hit 5 threes in a row.
Right. Yeah, without a miss. It's pretty dominating. We'll take another short break, come back with more here from Duff Kingston Gymnasium. It's the 54th annual Eldorado Holiday Tournament. We'll be right back.
Are you going out of town for a vacation or a weekend getaway? What are you going to do with your dog? That's easy. There's Jaggers Doggy Daycare in Mount Vernon. Jaggers Doggy Daycare is your one-stop shop for overnight dog boarding, doggy daycare, as well as dog grooming and obedience dog training. It's your dog's home away from home, and they will thrive, and they'll get one-on-one attention by a great staff. More information is available on the web at jaggersdoggydaycare.com. Jaggers Doggy Daycare, 414 Main Street in Mount Vernon.
105.5 and 90.9 The Vine thanks Wibbles Repair and Sales in McLeansboro for their monthly underwriting support of local Christian radio. They repair small engines and ag equipment, and they sell small engine parts, including oil filters and belts. They have agriculture aftermarket parts, interstate batteries, big truck parts, and truck lighting. As Steel and Husqvarna dealers, they offer a wide variety of chainsaws, trimmers, and cut-off saws. Wibbles Repair and Sales in McLeansboro. Their phone number, 618-648-2227. Open Monday through Friday, Saturdays till noon.
Sometimes you need an attorney who can look out for your interest. Located just a short drive away in Mount Vernon, Olson & Reeves offer a free consultation to discuss your needs. Everything is discreet and confidential. At Olson & Reeves, they can provide you with consultation and assistance with traffic law and DUIs, estate planning, living wills, divorce, real estate contracts, personal injury and accidents, as well as medical malpractice. Call Olson & Reeves, attorneys at law in Mount Vernon at 316-7322.
Halftime here at the 54th annual Eldorado Holiday Tournament. Fairfield in command of this one over Carrier Mills, 48-15. So we fully expect a running clock here in the second half. Let's kind of recap here, Mark, what's happened so far today. And the breakfast special this morning, it was West Frankfort over Anna Jonesboro, 72-52. And actually, Anna Jonesboro led early in that game.
Definitely. I'll tell you what, both teams really looked a little stagnant. That first game every year, one of the teams always seems to be a little slow, it seems like, getting off the gun. And honestly, both teams did. The first half was kind of boring, and then both teams really came out, and West Frankfort finally took care of that one late in the game and ended up winning by 20.
Third-seeded Heron took on Carmi in the second game this morning, and again, that was a one-point game at halftime, 31-30, and Carmi led much of the first half of that game.
Exactly. I mean, it was we played Carmi a week and a half ago at home, and it was a totally different-looking team that first half, and then it looked more like the team we played. Not knocking anything from them, Heron just dominated the second half in all aspects of it and ran away with it.
76-43, the final on that one, Heron over Carmi. Third game of the morning was Massac County against Hamilton County, and the Foxes gave the second-seeded Patriots all they wanted. losing it by 11 points, 50-39. And had the Foxes made some free throws, could have been a different story.
Well, I talked to Joe Hosman a couple of times after the game, and he said, fortunately for Massac County and unfortunately for Hamlin County, and he really hates to see it because he really appreciates Robbie Morgan, but Robbie Morgan going down after he scored 8 points in the second quarter, he goes down with a knee injury and doesn't get to come back at all. Foxes just flat out hustled the Patriots, and Joe Hosman will be the first one to admit that. He said, in fact, I told my team that at the half. I told them again after the game, and I'm going to tell them all the way back here tomorrow morning that they were out hustled, and I don't want to see it again. So, I mean, you give the Foxes a lot of credit on that they really put forth the effort, and if, like you said, 4 of 16 from the free throw line, they'd made the free throws, they would have won the game.
What do we know about the injury to Robbie Morgan? Is he going to be able to play tomorrow for the Foxes?
I talked to him a while ago. He's seen a doctor, and they've told him to keep it iced. He's down here walking around, so he's already not listening to him.
Okay. All right, yeah.
But he said that if he feels comfortable enough, he has been given the okay to go. I'm sure, talking to Coach Doug Miller, that they're not going to push it if they don't absolutely have to have him. I think he would definitely be a benefit for the Foxes to have tomorrow against Vienna, but they don't want to jeopardize further injuring that knee anymore. So I would say you may not see him the rest of the tournament unless.
Right. First game of the afternoon session saw Edwards County defeat Vienna 66-54, and that was one of those games where it looked like Edwards County was going to run away and hide, but Vienna never quit. They got it back to single digits.
Yeah, I was getting the book ready for tomorrow's game for Hamlin County, and early in the third quarter, well, just shortly after the half started, I started writing down Vienna because it looked like Edwards County was going to make their run and it was going to be over. And as you said, they cut it to 9 in the fourth quarter, and I'm like, am I going to have to erase this whole page? But Edwards County started hitting a few shots down the stretch, and Vienna I think their legs got the better of them against.
Well, that sets up a game between the Foxes and Vienna tomorrow morning in that breakfast special at 8:30 a.m. on the consolation side of the bracket, and that should be an interesting contest.
Definitely. Normally they'd been in the same conference, but with Edwards County moving in last year, Vienna got kicked to the other side, so we get a chance to play Vienna again.
And the game right before this, a defensive struggle, a low-scoring game, as Carterville, the number 8 seed, outlasted Hardin County 36-21.
Good effort by both teams. Hardin County really just outmanned Downing from Carterville, 6'5" sophomore, had 17 points, and just inside, outside, it was really hard to stop him, and that was pretty well the game. So,
all right, well, that brings us to the second half of this one with Fairfield in control, 48-15. We'll should have a running clock here.
I don't know if they will the third quarter.
Yeah, probably not till the fourth quarter.
I know they will the fourth quarter for sure.
Yeah.
But that'll set up games tomorrow. West Frankfort and Heron will play at 1:45, and then Massac, Edwards County at 3:15. Later tonight, the last game, the Red Eye Special will have AJ versus Carmi. Those teams play 2 games in the same day, and one of the teams will be eliminated.
Yeah, that'll tip off tonight at 10 o'clock. And we won't be bringing you that one. We'll be headed home. All right, inside the post we come. It's Xavier Rollins as Carrier Mills has the ball first to start the second half. Here's a drive by Reed, and it's knocked away, stolen by the Mules. Coming out with it on the dribble is Wyatt Gilbert. To Jayzil O'Neal. O'Neal to Gilbert.
He realized it about the time you was going to tell him.
Yeah, about the time I was going to ask him to sit down, he did. Okay, appreciate that. Sometimes we get our view blocked here a little bit by spectators. Reese Lee behind the arc. He knocks it down. And they're picking up right where they left off with the three-point shooting, Mark.
11 points for him.
Everybody getting in on the act here for the Fairfield Mules this afternoon. 51-15.
To get 3 or 4 players in double figures for them, that says a lot. As many players that play and score, but they've already got 2 in double figures.
Van Meter bounce passes it inside to Rollins, now back out. And they try to go back inside the post again to Rollins. You got a Xavier Rollins that's a freshman and an Aiden Rollins that's a freshman. Are they twins or brothers? Do we know? Not sure. You got number 5 and number 23. Both out there at the same time right now for Carrier Mills. Those kids keep on developing, though. That bodes well.
I would definitely say they're related. They look a lot alike. As just gets a lob and puts it back down on the floor and puts it in.
53-15 on the bucket by Estes. They'll clear out the gym after this game and come back for a couple games here in the night session. Eldorado will take on NCOE. The Eagles are the 5 seed. Gallatin County, the 4 seed, will take on Harrisburg. Harrisburg down a little bit this year, but I bet you they'll be ready to play tonight. As the foul's called.
Foul on the shot on Wyatt Gilbert. It will send Caden Van Meter to the line for 2, his first chance at points.
And he's another freshman. So there are 3 freshmen on the floor right now for Carrier Mills. And that one rims in and out, no good. Mules will play again tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock against Carterville.
This is both.
Here's a lead pass to Reese Lee as his shot is up and in. Nice basket in transition. That's what the Mules could do to you. And we got an injury down on the floor as Carrier Mills player took it. Over at the Pinckneyville tournament, Salem leads Chester after 3 quarters, 38-31. That sounds like a good one. And also at Pinckneyville, it was Cissna Park, the number 2 seed, defeating Eldorado 67-52. And walking to the bench is going to be Colton Betts.
Fairly close game for a number 2 seed, though.
Yeah, it is. Opening round game.
There's some pretty good teams in that tournament. Pretty good parity.
But again, the number 1 seed in that tournament only lost to the number 1 seed of this tournament, Fairfield. So that's interesting.
Sutton says our tournament's better than. No, just kidding.
Here's Carrier Mills on the wing with Reed. Back out to the top it comes to Rollins. Back to Reed. Guarded by O'Neal. He'll try to go around him. Bounce passes inside, and the shot is up. No good by Rollins. Gets his own rebound. Tries to power back up, but instead pushes it out. Now they'll fire a 3 out front. That's off the mark. No good by Mitchell. Rebound again by Rollins, and he's going to be fouled again.
Carrier Mills has really good ball movement, and they make players come over to defend them and help out. And I don't mean this to sound bad. At an 8th grade or freshman level, those would be plays that would work. Mm-hmm. But you've got such an experienced Fairfield team that comes over and helps out even on the second player,
right?
And takes away that second pass.
I'm wondering these 3 freshmen that are on the floor for Carrier Mills, what did they do last year as 8th graders? Did they go pretty far, go pretty deep in junior high?
I have no idea.
Did they go to the state tournament last year? I'd have to feel that they did pretty well last year because these 3 freshmen are not bad. As J.Zell O'Neal buries one from behind the arc. I tell you what, how many different people have hit 3-pointers today for Fairfield? It's been several. What, 4? 4 of them?
Yep,
4 different players.
Lee's had 3, O'Neal's had 2, Massey 1, and Zerlini 2.
Inside the paint, Xavier Rollins misfires. Rebound Estes on the move for the Mules. Throws it ahead to O'Neal. He'll try it again behind the arc, and yes! Dial long distance again. 61-15. Mules are playing very relaxed basketball here. Having some fun out there. Almost a steal by O'Neal. We'll go back to Carrier Mills. A whole new 5 coming in for Fairfield.
Team 2.
As Zerlini and Dagg and Cantrell and McElravy and Massey all come back in for Fairfield.
This would be a nice compliment if by comparing them to the early 90s team from Hamilton County and McLeansboro at that time, when the Brzezinskis played, that they would bring in 4 or 5 off the bench.
Right.
And they made the run to the super section or to the sectional championship that year. I'm sure this Fairfield squad wants to go a little bit farther than that.
Yeah. Van Meter's shot fell short and then went out of bounds off the Wildcats, so it's Fairfield basketball again as Massey brings it up, goes down to Dagg. Almost a steal, but it's knocked out of bounds there by Van Meter. All right, got an answer. Carrier Mills got second in the state last year as 8th graders. They went 30-1.
That explains a whole lot.
That explains why these freshmen are pretty talented for Carrier Mills. Thank you so much, Marie Adams, for sending us that message. Ask and you shall receive, Mark. We've got some great listeners, great viewers out there. We appreciate the information. Yeah, I think that bodes well for Carrier Mills here at the high school level. These 3 freshmen that are out there now, they keep working hard. Think of the experience that they're getting against this Fairfield bunch here. Yeah, they're going to take a beating this afternoon, but it's teaching them so much.
As you said earlier, you can learn more from a defeat than you can from a win a lot of times.
I agree with that, for sure. Here's McElravy out to Massey. Now inside to Cantrell. He feeds Zerlini, and he puts up the shot and in. Good ball movement by the Mules, 63-15.
13 for Zerlini.
And it's a final now over at Pinckneyville. Salem nips Chester by 1 point, 43-42. That's a great first-round game. Zerlini's going to take it all the way down and has it stripped. Taken away by Van Meter. Carrier Mills back the other way. The bank shot's up, no good. Rebound by the Mules. Here we go. Racehorse basketball. As a pass is thrown from Cantrell down to Zerlini, and he's fouled, and Landon will go to the line.
I think he fouled him just so they could all catch their breath.
2:57 to go here in the third quarter.
Second foul on Reed, first in the second half on the Wildcats.
You know, that win by Salem over Chester there at the Pinckneyville tournament. That was a good move for Salem, getting out of the Centralia tournament and going to Pinckneyville. That was a real good move by them. Playing teams that they can compete with a lot better instead of those 3A and 4A teams up at the Centralia tournament. This makes more sense.
Yeah, Centralia is more of a showcase.
And with the new enrollment parameters introduced by the IHSA, so many of these teams are going to go back down to 2A. You know, you got Carterville and Heron, who were 3A, are going to now be 2A again. Salem is right on the bubble. Salem could drop down to 2A, where they've been 3A forever. So, you know, that's good for them. Ball's kicked out of bounds. It'll be Wildcats basketball.
The question will be is how many of these 2A schools that are bordering are going to drop down to 1A.
Some of that might happen, too. You're right. Lead pass to Zerlini. He goes in for the easy finger roll layup. 65-15. It's a 50-point bulge here for the Mules. Actually, 66-15. Steal again. Cantrell has it. Dishes it over to Dagg. His shot short. Rebound by Godsey, who's in the ball game for Carrier Mills. Sat Godsey, he's a sophomore. Well, it'll be interesting to see this Carrier Mills bunch in a couple of years, you know.
I hope for Carrier Mills' sake that
they all stick together.
They stay, because it's been a habit that a player here, player there ends up going to area schools.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been a lot of Carrier Mills teams that really could have competed.
Because being 1A basketball like they are, if this group stays together, they could be a real force in 1A basketball here in a couple of years. You know, they really could be. Especially if they can grow a little bit more.
I've seen some very small teams that that have the depth, and if you've got a team that won it or got second at the junior high level, as they get a steal here, then he dribbles it off his foot, and Fairfield goes the other way.
And we're going to have a whistle and a foul here.
Foul's on number 20. It'll be Godsey's first. Second team foul on the Wildcats here in the second half.
Massey triggers it into Logan Trent, who's in the ball game, seeing his first action as blowing by the defender is Massey, and he scores the layup.
Put Mitchell on the floor with the little crossover.
68-15. So the Mules have gone with 11 different players now in this one. And most of them are in the scoring column.
20-0 run here in this quarter.
Godsey goes inside to Mitchell. His shot's no good. There's a rebound and a follow back up by Van Meter, and he's fouled. And the freshman will go back to the line.
It's old school Bobby Blondie doing the one hand.
Yeah, he's not going to change now.
No.
He's not going to change now and start doing it with two hands. After doing it that way for what, 30 or 40 years?
At least.
Yeah. Free throw is up and in. The Rollins boys are twins, according to Melissa Williams. Thank you, Melissa. We were wondering if they were twins or brothers, and you've answered our question. We thank you for that. 68-16. 56 seconds left here in the third quarter. We got another foul called.
Third foul on Reed. Oh, excuse me.
Looks like NCOE is in the house. As you see the NCOE cheerleaders come past us here. They will be taking on the host Eldorado Eagles tonight. That'll be a 7 o'clock game. After we break for a little supper. Back to that hospitality room. Oh, there's a steal. Nice one by Massey. He's going to take it down and lay it in. Oh, missed it. The follow.
And the technical is going to be.
Yeah, yep. Luke Dagg hanging on the rim.
They're just going to call it goaltending.
All right. Luke Dagg tried to follow and got hung up on the rim there. I'm sure Massey would like to have that layup back. 25 seconds left here in the third quarter.
And then we'll have 8 minutes to play.
And it'll go fast. And again, that'll give us a chance to catch up on our time here because this session has run long with these three games. That first game was the one that ran long.
Yeah.
Down on the block, it goes to Van Meter. He tries to get it to Mitchell. Shot is up, no good. Tip back up, no good. And the horn sounds, and that's the end of the third quarter play. Our score, Fairfield 68, Carrier Mills 16, and we'll come back with the fourth and final quarter in just a moment here on AreaSports.net and on FoxesFans.net. Back at Duff Kingston Gymnasium, it's going in the fourth quarter here of this matchup between Fairfield and Carrier Mills. Fairfield Mills, of course, the number one seed in the tournament. You can see why. 68-16, a commanding lead here over Carrier Mills. We'll have a running clock in this quarter. Message from Melissa Williams tells us also that Carrier Mills got second in the state last year, going 30-1. These freshmen we're seeing out there that were eighth graders last year, and their only loss was in the championship game. As Noah McElravy puts up the shot, but it goes out of bounds. It'll go back to Carrier Mills. I'm not sure who they lost to in that championship game. Would that have been Class M?
No, it'd probably be Class S.
That'd be S? Okay. I'm sure whether that was S or M. Okay.
I'm sure we're going to get an answer momentarily.
Well, somebody's going to tell us. Okay. Shot up, no good. Rebound cleaned out of there by Fairfield as Brandon Lane is in the game. He's the 12th player to play for Fairfield in this one.
Coach Kill Peoples is wanting to foul on the other end down here.
Caleb Freimeyer also out there. Here's a shot by Logan Trent. It's short. Rebound by Choate for Carrier Mills. So the Mules have played 13 players in this game. Great experience playing on this floor in this tournament, in this game. Freimeyer takes it down and scores. Put him in the book. Put him in the book. He's cracked the scoring column.
10 players in the scoring column.
10 players, huh? That's wild, isn't it? 10 players in the scoring column for Fairfield.
3 in double figures.
70-16. Here's a shot up. No good by Mitchell. Rebound by the Mules. Here's a breakaway. Look out. Oh, he tried to dunk it. Freimeyer a little bit short on that one. He didn't have quite the hops that, or the arm length that Estes does. Gave it a good effort, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I think the goal is still shaking down there. 6:13 to go in the game, and that's knocked away by Freimeyer. Well, the Mules will get a nice little break or rest, not having to play again until 7 o'clock tomorrow night. You know, they played this 4:45 game this afternoon.
Carrier Mills will turn around and play Hardin County tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.
Yeah, that's a quick turnaround. Logan Trent from the corner. There he goes. Another three-pointer for the Mules, and that's, the fifth player, I think, for the Mules to hit a three-pointer in this game. 73-16. Logan Trent, a 5'8" senior for the Mules, coming off the bench, and a couple more Fairfield players are going to get in. I think this is going to finish emptying the bench as Tyrese Petty, a 5'9" sophomore, is going to get in there. And Blake Pruitt, 5'9" sophomore, also in the game. It's going to be all 15 players, I think. All in the game today for the Mules. Pruitt has it. Out to Petty. 5 minutes to go in the contest. Trent has it. Gets it down to Freimeyer. His shot is up, no good. Rebound by Carrier Mills. If you watch any of the junior varsity contests for Fairfield, you'll see a lot of these guys playing in those JV games, and they play hard. They have some spirited contests for sure. Pruitt has it in the front court for the Mules, out to Trent. He'll leave it behind him to Pruitt. Try to lob it inside. It's not there. It's knocked out of bounds and stays with Fairfield. 4:19 and counting. The clock continues to run here in the fourth quarter. Oh, that's almost a steal by the Wildcats. Checking in for Carrier Mills is Trey Collins. Back in, replacing Jeremy Choate. How long has Kyle Peebles been down at Carrier Mills? Do you know? How long has he been coaching down there?
Either 2 or 3 years.
Okay. In the lane, Petty puts up the shot. He got it. There's another guy in your scoring column. Tyrese Petty with the bucket for the Mules. 75-16. You think there's time to get all 15 of them in the scoring column?
Well, McElravy will have to come back in the game again.
Okay. All right. Here's Hambleton.
He had his opportunities while he was in the game, that was for sure.
That's a foul going to be called on the Mules.
He didn't foul either, so he's not in the book at all,
okay.
other than having played.
Uh-huh. Well, we're nowhere near the bonus, so unless it's a shooting foul, we probably won't be shooting any more free throws here. Van Meter down the lane. Oh, there's a nice dish.
You had to say it.
I had to say it, didn't I? Yeah, I was afraid of that. Riley Ward gets fouled.
We've got 3 minutes to go, and I can guarantee you the Blondies will work this down under 2 minutes at least before.
Riley Ward, a 6'3" sophomore in the game for the Wildcats, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2 as the clock continues to roll. Well, since this game is well in hand, a lot of the crowd has left the building, but you'll see a huge crowd re-enter again for the night session, I can assure you. This place will be rocking tonight. It's a great place to see basketball. If you've not been to the Eldorado Holiday Tournament, you really need to come check it out. It is one of the best tournaments around as far as the atmosphere, the spirit of the game. Pure Southern Illinois basketball. All 16 teams from Southern Illinois.
Not a bad seat in the gym.
You're right about that. Brandon Lane has it for the Mules in the corner. Now to Trent. Trying to work it inside to Freimeyer. Can't get it in there. Lane's got it again. He comes over to Pruitt. He's cut off. Oh, here's a shot from outside. Bounces off the back iron by Lane. The follow back up, no good. Rebound by the Wildcats. Minute 36 left. Godsey has it. He drives, and his shot is no good, but he's fouled. So Sot Godsey, the 5'7" sophomore, will go to the line. There's our answer. Carrier Mills was Class S. As Marie lets us know. Thank you, Marie.
Who beat them?
We've just got great viewers out there. They're full of information. We appreciate it. Reminder to watch the next game coming up at 7 o'clock. You'll need to refresh your browser. And, of course, we'll break for a quick supper here as they'll clear out the gym and then re-enter everybody. And so we'll reload the website here to be able to allow you to view that game between 5th-seeded Eldorado and NCOE. That'll be followed by Galveston County against Harrisburg, which will wrap up the first-round games. There will be a 10 o'clock game tonight on the consolation side of the bracket between AJ and Carmi. That tips at 10 o'clock. We will not be here for that. We'll rest our weary bones and our voices and get ready for tomorrow. As Petty dials long distance. All right, what is that now? Six different mules.
That'll be the one stat to look at.
Yeah, it will be. Have hit trifectas in this game. 78-16 with 15 seconds left. Six mules. You don't see that happen very often.
No.
That's a rare stat. There's a shot by Mitchell, no good. There's a rebound by the Mules. They're going to hold it, and that's going to be the ball game. Final score from Duff Kingston Gymnasium. Number 1 seeded Fairfield with a dominating 78-16 win over the Fairfield Mules. And again, the Mules will be in action again at 7 o'clock tomorrow night against Carrier Mills, or against Carterville, I should say, as Carterville was winner over Hardin County earlier today.
Well, scoring for Carrier Mills, they were led in scoring by Colton Mitchell with 6. Jeremy Choate added 5. Colton Betts and Aiden Rawlings with 2. And Caden Van Meter, the freshman, with 1 for a total of 16. They were held scoreless in the fourth quarter, even though it was continuous clock. For Fairfield, Reese Lee had 13. Wyatt Gilbert with 2. Jose O'Neill, 11. Hixenbaugh with 1. Cody Cantrell with 4. Colin Massey with 5. Frymeyer with 2. Zerlini, top scorer, with 16. Dag off the bench with 8. Estes with 2 dunks and 8 points. Logan Trent with 3. And Tyrese Petty with 5. And 6 of those, as we mentioned, hit 3-pointers.
So we had multiple people make 3-pointers for Fairfield and multiple people dunk the ball for Fairfield in this one. A dominating performance for the Mules, 78-16. It's going to wrap up our broadcast. And again, we'll be back at around 7 o'clock as Danny will be back.